Every time we talk to Alexa, Siri, Google, or Cortana, we are building the brains of the robot. Whenever we speak to these devices, we are imparting tiny pieces of human intelligence, and over time, with the right kind of AI learning software, it will be possible to build the kind of foundational base of knowledge needed to operate our robots in the future. Granted, we are still in the primitive chiseling-the-stone stage of this transformation, but our verbal exchanges are fueling the early reservoirs of human intelligence that will be needed to power the brains of the robots over the coming decades. To put this into perspective, the robots I'm referring to may be autonomous drones, driverless cars, or actual robots, but this kind of incoming stream of intelligence is what will be needed to separate the blind order-following robots of the past from the emotionally perceptive multisensory bots that will be common in our future. In many situations, the robot itself will begin to disappear and over time will morph into forms of automation that we no longer consider to be associated with physical devices such as robots. How much authority will future robots have? Will they be given the authority to keep alcohol away from alcoholics, cigarettes away from children, and turn off devices when kids should be doing their homework? Will the same bots that serve as your personal trainer and image consultant also be given authority to change your diet, schedule doctor appointments, or arrange social engagements? Will they be given authority to sign for certified mail, or fill a prescription, hire an exterminator, or care for a baby? Could we also go down the dark side of robotics and direct them to terminate a dictator, rebel leader, or anyone else that may stand in our way? Will bots be used as the intermediaries in drug deals, human trafficking, and arms shipments to keep the participants at a safe distance? Will autonomous bots have their own bank accounts and also be required to pay taxes? In the future, will you trust a robot to give you a haircut? How will you know the good bots from the bad bots? Isaac Asimov was a famous science fiction writer who wrote the 3 laws of robotics. The thinking behind these laws started taking form when he wrote his 1942 short story Runaround, but he had mentioned some of his thinking in a few earlier stories. In his Handbook of Robotics, published in 1958, Asimov's 3 laws of robotics became official. Number 1, a robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Number 2, a robot must obey orders given it by human beings except when such orders would conflict with the first law. Number 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. While the laws seemed very visionary and formed a cultural meme around the ethics needed in the coming age of automation, they are simply not adequate for the nuanced complications and behaviors we are beginning to see in today's devices. At the same time, Asimov was driving the first stake in the ground for machine ethics, a field that hadn't even been invented yet, and should be commended for his far-sighted approach to the future of human-machine relationships, a topic that we will be wrestling with for decades to come.